So let's talk about
Okay.
DQL, short for data query language. So data query language is just like you have said, we are going to use it to we are going to query our database, and this is the language that allows us to read information from an already created instance, like a database, a table, a view, a stored procedure, or any instance that has been created that already exists. So the keyword for querying a database is select. So anytime you see the word select being used, it means that a database or a table is being queried. So a simple select statement can mean select a particular table. For example, this one. If I say select this, if I run this command now, I'm saying read all the tables that is in the present in the current working database. If I say if I run this one, it means read all the information in the database, oh sorry, in the author table. If I run this one, it means read all the information in the books table. So but then that's not all. We can format how our results get returned. Now what we have done so far, now we have created a database, and we have created tables in it. So let's create a custom report of our table. Now what do I mean? So we have two tables now, and these tables have something in common. If I read this first one out, this is information about the author. We have four authors, and here we have three books which are being written by author 1 and author 2. So if I want to get like a full information about these books and who has written them, I can create a select statement. I can say maybe something like select everything from books, and then I can customize that and say something like where the author ID is equal to 1. So this is only going to return all books that are written by the first author. Okay, if I change
Yes,
this
ma'am.
to 2, it's only going to return books that are written by author 2. If I change this to 3, I don't have any record on this author, so it's going to return nothing because this author has not written a book. Now I can also create what's it called, a custom select statement. Let me try to read this book information again. I can also like create a customized report statement saying that I want to only return the book that is titled um, the beginning, or any book that was produced between the year 2010 to 2012. So let's see. So if I say I want a book YOP, year of production, I want the year of production for this YOP, sorry, where YOP, where the year of production here is equal to 2013. If I run this now, this is only going to return book that was produced in 2013. So if I say less than 2013 now, this is going to give me the remaining two books, because these ones were produced in 2010 and 2002, which is less than 2013. So if I also want to say something about, okay, if the book is maybe the number of pages, if I want the number of pages, let's say pages, if it's less than, let's say 200, or thereabouts. Do we have any book less than 200? No, we don't. What if we say if it's greater than 200? Yes, we do. Now we can also combine these statements together. We can say select everything from the books where the year is less than 200, sorry, less than 2013, and let's say less than 200, 2013, and the title is equal to, sorry, title is equal to the lost sheep. Now there's only one book that is going to satisfy this condition. Do you know that?
Yes, ma'am.
The lost, did I get that correctly? Okay, so there's only one book that satisfies that condition of the year being less than 2013 and the title is this. And I can also negate this. I can say where year is less than this and I can also say something about so let's say I can say okay, I only want where select everything from books where year where year in, and then I say maybe 2013 only, 2002. Now this is going to select books that were produced in year 2013 and year 2002. So you can create a custom select your um, of your view. So we have order by. Okay, we've not done that, so let's do order by. Let's order by the title. We can also say select everything from books, then we want to order by the title. Okay, if we order by the title, we have the beginning, the last of us, and then the lost sheep. So we can also order by some other things like the number of pages. So if I do number of pages, it's going to go from ascending order, but if I want it to be in descending order, I just need to pass the ESC here. Alright, when I pass this in, I run this, it's now going to go from top to bottom. That's from descending order. It's going to arrange that in descending order.
Okay.
So we can also return. I'm just going to we can return the minimum book here, the book that has the minimum pages. And so just run this, which is 300. We can get the maximum. So this our aggregate function, which is 570. We can get the sum of all the pages that was produced. We can get the sum, 1220. We can also get the average. So these are aggregate functions, all right? But what if we wanted to group all the books by the author? At the moment, we only have two authors that published the book. So what if we want to group those groups by their author? Now, if I run this now, I'm gonna run the book. I'm just going to run that again. Let's say select everything from books. So now I have this, right? So if I group this by the author, I need to have an aggregate function. So what do I mean? So if I say I want to group this by the author so that I can add up the number of pages that this author has written. But then know that this is only going to return like 2 results because I have just 2 authors here. So if I say select everything, so we use group by with aggregate function because if you group by this this author, now you need to tell SQL what you want it to do with every other information. So usually we use aggregate functions with group by. So we need to group by something that is unique to each of this, which is the author ID. So if I say that group by the author ID, so now we want to group this table by their author ID. So I'm gonna say select everything, or let's say select the sum of the pages from books. Then I want to group by the author ID. So now you can see now the summation of book 1 of author 1 is 750 and author 2 is just 500. So we cannot use a single column without being aggregated with an aggregated column. What I mean is that we cannot print out the title like this because the title is not being aggregated. So SQL will be confused of which title do you want me to return, because it already asked me to group by the author ID. So you can only use an aggregate function with other aggregated columns too, or you can call out aggregated column at a go, but not an not aggregated table and then an aggregated non-aggregated column and an aggregated column. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, man.
So if you are ever going to call an aggregated column, ensure that you are calling it with an aggregated column also, not like a non-aggregated table. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So now that being said, if we now want to read information about, now let's create more custom solution or more custom report from our table. So now I want to read information from table 1 and table 2. I can join these two tables together. So we have about 4 kinds of joins. We have inner join, we have outer join. For outer, we have left, we have right, we have full join. Okay, so let's take each of these joins one by one. So now we have the books and the author table. So we want the inner join. Let's use the inner join. So the inner join, what the inner join is going to do is that the inner join will return records from table A and table B, where they have matching results. So if I say select everything from author and I say inner join with books, so I need to tell SQL the column that they have in common that I want to join them on. So I'm going to say author dot, is it authors, author dot id equal to books dot author id. So if I run this now, I have all the information from both tables where they have matching results. So now if you notice, I only have author 1 and 2 because it's only author 1 and 2 that have written a book.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember? So we only have author 1 and 2 have written books. So those are the results that are being written because they are matching. We have author 1 in the author table, we have author id 1 in the books table. So these results will be displayed because they have matching results. Now if I run this same command again, but this time with a left join, now a left join will return all records in table A and matching records in table B. Okay, so which means that all the records now in this case now table A is author, table B is books. So if I run this now, all the records in table A were returned, but then the records that do not match were returned as what? Null.
No.
Because these 3 and 4 author IDs, they have not written a book. Do you understand? So if I run the same command now, but this time with a right join.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to see now that only if I just I'm just going to copy this guy right here, paste it here, change this to right, and all records in table B will be returned with matching records in table A. So now this books now is my what? Table B, and then it returns matching records in table A. So which means that table B here is being preferenced. In the left table A was being preferenced. So yeah, because
I understand this, ma'am.
so if I paste this again, and this time I use a full join. Now a full join will return all records from table A and all records from table B. That's what a full join. This join this join will return all records from table A and table B. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
that's what we have. So this is all records from table A were returned, all records from table B were returned. So for the ones that don't match, you get a null value as as a placeholder for those cells. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Show ye abiko ye o.
Uh, Once I practice it, I'll know it's better, ma'am.
Okay. So do you have any question?
Question, and no, ma'am. Not yet, ma'am. Maybe
Okay.
when I practice it.
All right. Though that's great. Okay.